Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kagekaze's domain, where today we have notes of a new patch, patch number 17, and this time around they've got yet another character wipe in store for me. I swear they're doing this intentionally. They see me get close, they hatin'. You can see Bashiok sitting on his throne right now, gazing down upon the sparkle ponies and just laughing at my predicament. That's okay. I'm going to try and go as far as I can before that happens.
My love,
So,
forgive me.
in other news today, the monk has officially been announced on the reveal site, even though we knew about the video from IGN. So that is up. Go there to reveal.diablo3.com and reclaim your sigil for the release before it is too late. Actually, you will probably have another chance to gain one later on in the promotion. They've said that they'll give people another chance for that, so you still might have a chance there. But I don't like to take chances for things like that, so I would recommend just going and doing it now. You know, no point not to. Hey, look, intelligence shield. Oh, that'll help me with my resistances. It's got a lot of armor on it, actually. 15% block chance with 13 to 18 amount. That's pretty good, actually. Magic Find, the intelligence, as I talked about in my Demon Hunter video, is really nice because it will get my resistances up to magical damage. Let's see how much that'll be. 6.01 compared to 4.5. More armor, block chance, block reduction. I kind of like that. I think I might do that. That's 10.5, 10.0. Alright, let's put this over here. Get rid of that. Alright, not that it does me any good keeping any of this anymore. Pardon me again.
There's a big pack coming this time. Stand your ground.
Your cattle smiles on me.
Alright, so go claim your sigil. Also, I got a bash rune for Clobber here. That'll be a nice one. That does stun. I'll show you guys once I'm done here. The next video, or the next release for the reveal site, is almost unlocked. It's about 1% away. So we'll find out more than likely by the end of today what that is. I believe there was a post on Diablo fans that showed what all the eventual releases are, because the information could be found on the website, but I don't quite remember what it was. I'll wait to be surprised. It doesn't bother me that I don't know it. Alright, let me go ahead and get my bash rune going here. This is Clobber, and instead of knocking back for 20%, I have a 35% chance to stun the target for 1.5 seconds. This is one of the minor changes of patch 16 to the Barbarian. This used to have the exact same chance as the knockback. The knockback was 20%, the stun was 20%, but the stun was for 3 seconds, and now it's for 1.5. So what they've done is they've increased the chance for it to happen while reducing the amount of time that the stun lasts. Now, I have a theory behind that, and that theory goes that they want these skills to be more useful in higher levels of play. And the reason why I think this fulfills that is simply because with high levels of crowd control resist, which bosses will be getting as you go up higher in difficulty, they may eventually just stop really responding to your stuns and snares and things like that, based on how high it gets in Inferno mode, let's say.
This must be the blacksmith's apprentice.
Apparently the blacksmith apprentice always drops a blue now. So by having a high resistance on later mobs with abilities that don't proc that often but proc for longer, you're actually kind of losing out, because it's not happening very often And since not only is it not happening very often, but they resist it, and then you just don't get a good feel for it because, you know, granted you may have gotten that stun off on the monster, it didn't last very long. So what they've done is they reduced the duration of them, so the resistances should be a percentage base. So the resistance to your abilities hasn't been increased. Sorry, trying to think while fighting. But what has happened here is now you will actually hit them more often with your special abilities. So, you know, instead of a monster only taking a small amount of stun, like say the Skeleton King, let's just use him for an example. You can stun him. You know, if I stun him once every 20 hits, and he's only stunned for about a second, that's, you know, not too great. But what happens if I stun him once every 10 hits? You know, what if I just double that, you know? It happens more often, and what that does is, even though it doesn't seem like, you might think, well, he's stunned for far less time, and he would be stunned for less than a second. Here's the thing, every stun, no matter how short, interrupts casting, interrupts abilities of any sort. So having a monster stunned more often is actually a very good thing, because it will basically interrupt anything they're doing, an attack, a cast, what have you. Hey, here we go. Here's a good item for me. It's got strength on it, so that'll increase my damage by 0.3, it looks like. Let's put that on, 13.45 to 13.77. I found an 11.2. That's pretty nice. Let me see. More minimum damage, less maximum with the same attack speed. So that, honestly, is more consistent damage. I like that. This is 10.5 to that 10.0. Alright, looks like I'll be getting rid of that. Go away. Now let's compare this. More armor, more block chance, same block amount. I lose the magic find. Not really a big deal at this point, but I'm not going to bother with it for now. I would say I would want to keep the magic find if it were a retail release anyway. So we're moving on. Let's see. So this new patch, 17, that's the patch notes have been officially released today, but Blizzard has not said when the patch is coming out. I honestly assumed it was going to be, oh, nightmarish. I honestly assumed that the beta was going to be out when I got home when I saw that. And it wasn't. No patch. Not yet. So I don't know when that's going to happen, so I'm basically going to try and be fairly quick here. Just drop those, doesn't matter anymore. Okay. And this patch today, or whenever, is basically nothing big. There's a few minor changes. One change does affect barbarians, and that's in weapon throw. I'll kind of get to that real quick just to show you here. Weapon throw is no longer in the beta, it's 14 now. As you can see here, it shows a hurl a weapon at an enemy for 120% weapon damage and slows them for 60%. This will be nerfed down to 100% weapon damage, probably due to the low fury cost, and they're just kind of balancing it out for the fact that it's a ranged ability instead of a melee ability. The big change, and probably the reason for the character wipe, because this is not only a character wipe, but it's going to wipe our friends lists. Everything. So everything should be gone this time. They're basically, it looks like they're hooking up RealID to the to BattleNet 2.0, even across the beta. So when it goes live, theoretically I should be able to see my friends who are on World of Warcraft if they're online. That's the assumption anyway. Normally that doesn't happen, but the way they worded it made it seem like it would. If not, it could just be they're doing the final hookups for retail, because usually betas only link up with betas. But so the final hookups to Battle.net are good. The other thing that's getting changed is that if you guys haven't heard the Battletag system, basically when you sign up for Diablo 3, you're required to make a nickname. And of course I use mine. Your Battletag is given a 4-digit unique number at the end, and it's not based on first come first serve. Basically, if you're the first to claim a name, you will not be I am awesome number 0001. You will be I am awesome 1583. Completely random. So no, you cannot claim supremacy over others with your name based on your number. You do not have a unique serial code. Okay, so but what they've done with this Battletag system is it looks like what they're going to do is introduce features that are present in RealID abilities, such as chat across platforms, and introduce them in a way that people don't have to be on your, don't have to know your real name and email address in order to benefit from it. Because that's kind of the downside of RealID. RealID wasn't intended for people that know each other to be able to communicate. And RealID has been used for means other than that. For example, I gave my RealID to one of my raid leaders in case they ever needed me. Of course, I don't play StarCraft much anymore, but they had it just in case they needed it. And, you know, that was fine with me because I trusted my raid leader. We are pretty much friends, even though we have not physically met. But, you know, I trust them. But that's the thing about RealID. You really shouldn't be giving it to someone you don't trust. And people were, and then of course what that caused was a bunch of outcry on the forums about how they don't want people to know their real name. And then of course Blizzard comes back with, well, that's not, you're using the system wrong. We did not intend this to be used this way. It's for friends, people you know and trust. Blah blah blah. So now they're creating a system to allow you to play a game with someone, and all you have to know is their nickname, and all you have to do is add them as a Battletag friend. Excuse me, add them as a Battletag friend. So now you can see your Battletag friend, presumably across platform, and chat with them across the game as well, and not have to worry about them ever knowing who you really are, if that is your concern. Alright, there we go, that's what I wanted. These nightmarish are rather annoying, aren't they? So there you have it. That's, and I'm pretty sure that's why the massive wipe that's going to happen. And I think that's cool that they've finally done that, because people have been wanting a way to do that, to be able to talk to people without having to reveal who they really are. You know, you can have online friends and maybe just never really want to give them your real name. I love this stun. Not only ground stomp, but the stun on Bash. Combine the two, and this is actually a pretty nice control build. Stun on Bash, stun on ground stomp, and you can pretty much take control of the situation and not have to worry about monsters. Ooh, hold on one moment. Okay, minor mishap, hit the wrong key, ended up booting myself to desktop, and of course, with Fraps recording, that equals disaster. Direct 3D crash, and here I am again, starting over from town. Very well. Let's see what I picked up as I'm going. Some decent items, but nothing I can really use. Some dexterity. I'd rather have my strength. Armor and damage reduction over dodge. At this point, anyway. That I get strength. So, an 8.4. No, thank you. So I've already done the find the apprentice. It's ticked off, as you can tell over here. Oh, let's do this. This will be fun. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, I'm not going to bother looking. I need to move a little quickly here. So at this point, getting 2 generators, 2 spenders, and of course a control ability. The builds at this point are obviously not going to be super diverse. You basically pick between bash and cleave, you know, single target versus multi-target, right? And you could almost say the same thing with the spenders. You know, I have Hammer of the Ancients, which is probably more suited for single targets because of its smaller AoE range, and Rend, which is pretty much all about hitting everything around me. Of course, Rend does quite a bit of damage over time. Alright, Hammer of the Ancients just got runes, so that'll make that decision a lot easier. That's Rolling Thunder. Now, Rolling Thunder keeps pretty much everything the same, except for it creates a shockwave that deals 155% weapon damage to all enemies within 22 yards in front of you. So the assumption here is that it keeps the 200% weapon damage for the enemies directly in front of you, and then the 155 is the shockwave afterwards. It's 22 yards, which is not too bad. Still fairly close, but I can... Let me try and find one. There you go, kind of way out to here at this point. Or maybe not so much, there we go. A little closer than what I thought. It looks like it's supposedly hits farther than it really does. This isn't bad.
Not enough fury.
Alright, 14, 15, 14, 16. I think... It looked like it might have been a slight reduction in the damage at that point.
The crown must be in a different crypt.
Okay, so they have apparently removed the Resplendent chest from one of these tombs, one of these defiled crypts. That was added last patch, and it looks like it's been removed this patch. Think about it, what I've got here is a pretty defensive build. Not only am I using a sword and shield for extra defense, but I'm using bash, which is with Clobber, which is stunning the enemy. I've also got ground stomp, which has additional stuns on it. Allowing me to pretty much take control of the battle. Crossbows. Hey, here we go. A two-handed axe. That's rather nice. Okay, let's go ahead and ditch some of this defense for some two-handed lightning axe action. Look at that, 11.7. Holy. It's even better than what I had. How nice, eh? I'm just rolling in the good weapons. Shame I'm going to lose them all, huh? Oh, here we go. 20 armor and 2 experience, and attackers take damage. I lose my body paint, but game... I wouldn't even call that armor, really. Oh, well. Okay. So what I want to do is a quick test here on Hammer of the Ancients. Now, this is a much slower attacking build, so as you can see here, I'm going to generate Fury just a tiny bit slower, and I'm also, since I'm attacking slower, these monsters only have like 17 hit points. And before, I was killing them roughly maybe 1 or 2 hits. I was being far more efficient about killing them. Ooh, let's grab that hood. And this harkens back to the effective damage discussion I had in the monk video that I started on and I wasn't quite prepared for, and then I kind of expanded on it a bit in the Demon Hunter videos here. Doing the right damage for the right job. Right now I'm hitting pretty hard. These monsters have basically half the hit points that I'm hitting them for. I'm overkilling. I haven't seen the Jar of Souls in a while. So one thing to be wary of, though, is that this makes me a little vulnerable to groups. Since I'm attacking slow, the groups can surround me and start hitting me hard. I'm good against tougher enemies because I'm more efficient against them because I hit them hard and I take them out pretty quick. But if these skeletons all came at me at once, they would hit me a bunch of times before I actually started killing them. So let's do a quick test here. 26, 28, 28. So what I'm going to do is take off Rolling Thunder. And let's see. 36. Oh boy. Okay. 34, 36, 34, 39. Yeah, okay. So it looks like I was wrong about my initial statement on Hammer of the Ancients. So if I go here, 28, 26. Alright, well, just because I don't hit them quickly in large groups with my normal attacks doesn't mean I can't use Rolling Thunder to kill a big group of them, eh? Okay, so my initial statement was wrong. You do not keep the 200% weapon damage. It replaces the 200 with the 155 completely. So even monsters hit directly in front of me will still take the reduced damage. So reduces all damage, but does more AoE damage. So keep that in mind if you decide to rune your Hammer of the Ancients with Rolling Thunder. What's this now? Oh.
Not enough fury. This must not be the crypt that holds.
Battlenet lag, maybe.
The search continues.
Speaking of which, turn that on for you guys, and if you want to follow along at home on my frames per second. Booyah. Good, good, good. More experience for me. Ooh, 12. It's a one-hander, too. Almost 1 DPS lower than what I'm using. But attack speed increase. What do I get on this? 1 attack per second. Wow. But this, 1.2. Not a giant change. But enough. You can see there I'll attack a bit more often. It is less damage. But I could take that with this axe. It's about 1830 compared to... I'll actually get more DPS that way. So there's the trade-off, though. Here's the thing. I'll get more DPS by dual wielding, but I hit harder by using a two-hander. It's really going to depend on your build and your style. Right now, my build is so minor. I've only got 3 skills, or 3 skill slots, and I've only got 2 choices, really, between each of these skill slots. So, not a lot of choices right now for this, but when you move forward, sometimes you might want to have a big damage build using a two-hander. So even though I'll get more DPS this way, I might want to reconsider, you know, using dual wielding if I want to hit very hard. Again, it depends on what my effective damage is, what kind of scenarios I'm up against, or just playstyle, to be honest. What's cool here is I've got both weapons doing holy damage. Look at them glow. So I'm going to go ahead and do this because it is additional DPS. Also, the beautiful thing about dual wielding with the build I've got right now is think about Clobber. Clobber has a 35% chance to stun. Clobber is a skill that benefits greatly from high attack speeds, dual wielding. Simply because Clobber will have more chances to proc every weapon swing, so more attacks, more stuns. That's great. Dual wielding, the one thing about dual wielding that's really good is for proc-based builds. Basically, if you've got a build that relies on crits, then you might want to have a higher attack speed. Simply because the more you attack, the more chances you have to crit. So if you need that crit to happen, there you go. If you've got a build that requires you to hit an enemy for a chance to activate, you know, say you've got a skill like look at Hungering Arrow, which has a 35% chance to pierce the enemy and go through them and hit another enemy. For every arrow out there, that's more chances for them to pierce the enemy. So if you're attacking slowly, you might not get as many pierces. Not the best example, but it's there. Oh, this is the most annoying monster type ever. Come here. What is Hawk? Dexterity? Yes, it is. That's not bad. A shield with dexterity is not bad to find because dex is dodge. So dodge and block chance.
I am on the right path. The crown must be near.
Alright, now that he's stunned, I'll hit him a few times with those. Let's just hope we can get him, keep him stunned. There we go. So you can see there, he wasn't stunned for very long. It is the 1.5 seconds there. But it was enough to keep him from attacking. There were a couple times he went into a swing animation, and it just didn't happen because of the stun. This is honestly one of those, I was talking about proc-based builds. This is it. I mean, this is a 35% chance to proc.
Not enough fury.
Alright, let's stun all you. Take a few out. Didn't quite catch the toast. Don't tell me it's another level that doesn't show the toast. I've been running into that lately. Ah, new defensive ability. Instead of ground stomp, I get leap. So it generates the same amount of fury, 15. Lower cooldown, 12 to 10 seconds. And you leap in the air, dealing 85% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards of your destination, and slowing their movement speed by 60% for 3 seconds. So in essence, I lose the stun, the 4-second stun, which is honestly very nice. But I gain an ability that lets me move very quickly, do weapon damage, and it slows the enemy down. So this is a pursuit ability. I like Leap simply because it's a great way to close gaps.
No, I will not allow
It's a great way to start fight with some fury, because even if you miss, you get a little bit of it. That's right, stun.
More fury.
See, look how often that's proccing on him. Alright, I got an adventuring sword, which is 12.6, which I'm just finding really good weapons. They're taunting me is what they're doing. And it's more experience, so that'll really help with this trying to be quick thing. So let's get rid of the 11.7, put the 12 on, and the 12.6, so 19.38. Always keep in mind you want the stronger weapon of the two on your main hand. So honestly, don't, and that's what I'm going to want to do here. I want to switch these around actually, because you look at this is 12.6, this is 12.0, right? But look at the damage, 6 to 12 compared to 8 to 12. I'm already getting bonuses to my attack speed from dual wielding, but since this is the one that hits harder from 8 to 12 from 6, so this has a higher minimum, I will want that on my main hand, because that is the harder hitting weapon. The DPS, while nice, is not as important in this case, as your skills are all based off of weapon damage percentage, and a lot of skills will take your main hand DPS or damage. So Leap is great for moving around, even in town. Maybe I don't get Fury if I miss. Maybe they changed it. Could have sworn it was Fury even if you missed. But here's the beautiful thing about Leap. It's that, I'm just going to go on a selling spree here. I'm not worried anymore. With a patch and character wipe, it doesn't even matter. Okay. Beautiful thing about Leap. You don't have to target an enemy. You can just use it. So if you're in combat, and let's say you need to chase an enemy down, okay, cool. You can leap on the enemy and do a bunch of damage to him. Or let's say you're in combat and you're taking a bunch of damage. You can leap away. Alright, just since the game has restarted, I'm going to take a quick look to see if I get some rare monsters to spawn. Nope. Real shame. Random spawns, random locations. Check your corners, people. Choosing Leap over Ground Stomp is honestly kind of a hard decision. I love being able to do things like that, where I just leaped from the top and just came down on a monster unsuspected.
Not enough fury.
Of course, I love movement abilities, which is probably why I love the Demon Hunter and the Monk quite a bit in regards to what they're capable of doing. So Leap is one of those things that's really great about the Barbarian, in that if you want to start combat strong, because we did talk about having front end and back end loaded damage, if you want to get into combat with some rage to just be able to put something out right away, Leap is one great way of doing it. Keep in mind, if you're worried about, you know, not having rage or anything like that for your abilities, when you start combat, thinking it might make it harder for you. You want to keep in mind that most defensive builds, or not defensive builds, but defensive abilities either generate Fury or do not cost any at all. Ooh, more strength. So let's just take a quick look for cases and points here. Well, Sprint costs Fury for additional movement. That's kind of an odd one here. But here we have Ignore Pain, which reduces all damage taken. Notice it has absolutely no cost. It doesn't generate, it does not cost. Ancient Spear, which brings enemies to you, gives you Fury. You've got some abilities that don't cost any, like Revenge, which heals you. Furious Charge generates some. Overpower costs none. Warcry used to cost, but now it generates, and that reduces, that increases your armor. You know, some do, like Battle Rage here, which, but this gives you critical hit chance. Threatening Shout also generates, which used to be a spender, which reduces the damage that enemies do. So honestly, there are a lot of things a Barbarian can do without Fury. Fury pretty much is there for the massive attacks. Your defensive abilities are almost always, again, generators or no cost. Oh, I really could have used Ground Stomp there, but that's okay. We're killing, we're killing. Oh, hello. Potion. Stop that. So let's take a quick look. 60 out of 100. 72. Well, I hit a monster, though. That's not fair. As you can see there, you've got, I had monsters around me, keeping me from moving. And with a caster in the background trying to put the hurt on me, that could have been a bad situation. But there I was able to use Leap to my advantage and just move in and take him out. So let's gather up a nice big group here, just because I feel like it. Come on, boys! Gosh, they're still coming. Oh, y'all. Come on. Not sure what I'm going to do with them all. I don't really have a very good AoE ability, do I?
I am badly hurt.
Thankfully, they're giving me a whole bunch of fury with all these hits they're doing to me. Let's see what I can do here. Can I survive? I can. Survival. I got a survival record. That's kind of what I was going for. That was something that was pointed on Diablo fans' forums as well. Wasn't a thing that I knew existed until now. Survive a monster encounter with very low health. I don't really recommend going for that as a hardcore character unless you like gambling or living dangerously. Alright, monster kills but low DPS. This area I can already tell by the structure should not provide me with an exit, so let's move quickly. I have 73. 68, okay. So yes, do not gain fury unless I hit something, but I can still leap in and out wherever I need to. So if you are depending upon leap to grant you fury, have good aim. Just saying. And gold gloves, that's cool.
When we return from our...
I'm pretty sure the exit was this way anyway. I believe it was on my map and I just was kind of ignoring it to explore, but now I'm realizing I'm kind of going over again, and I want to end this section so I can clear some space for future sections. And like I said, try and get a lot of this done. So at least get me to the Skeleton King, I'm hoping, before all hell breaks loose. Okay, so here at Cathedral Level 3 is where I'm going to stop it, because I believe I've gone over time again. I should be able to get to John Dar at the... and hopefully to the Skeleton King on the next one. So, this is Kagekaze from Kagekaze's Domain. Redundant, isn't it? Barbarian moving a bit quicker this time. Sorry about that. I'm on a time crunch. I have no idea when these servers are going to go down. But hopefully it's still entertaining. So I will see you guys on the next segment. Remember to feel free to leave comments and suggestions in the feedback fields below or at theshadowpost@gmail.com. And thumb up the video if you like it. It helps me out quite a bit. Thanks, guys.